What is up, guys? MMA Mafia coming at you with another video. Today, we're going to be going over the most disliked fighters in the UFC. Now, if you like the video, leave a like, subscribe, and share the video. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. The first one we have here is Mario Batista. Now, in my opinion, the Mario Batista hate is very justified. You know, Jose Aldo being one of my favorite fighters of all time. You know, it was a disgusting performance he put on against Aldo. I made a video on Mario Batista before, so if you haven't seen it, you should go watch it after this video. But Mario Batista, just a disgusting performance against Jose Aldo, holding him up against the fence, not fighting. You know, the UFC really needs to change the rules on stalling up against the fence because it's getting out of hand at this point. You know, disgusting performance. Aldo deserves better. He should have got a better fight than Mario Batista. And then Jonathan Martinez before that, disrespecting Jose Aldo. But Mario Batista, terrible fighter, boring fighter, doesn't have any personality at all. He has a death before dishonor tattoo on his chest. After that performance against Aldo, you fucking dishonored your whole lineage. Disgusting behavior, disgusting fighter, terrible performance. Can't wait to see him slumped on his face. Hopefully his next fight he just gets knocked out cold. Now the next fighter we have on this list is Belal Muhammad. Belal, I can't remember the name Muhammad. Now, a lot of people don't like Belal because of his fighting style. They think it's boring. He holds him down on the ground, doesn't finish him, doesn't get any finishes pretty much. You know, he's cringe on the mic as well. You know, he's not really good at trash talking. He tries to do it a lot, and it just comes off just cringe and terrible. But Belal Muhammad, I kind of forgot he was champion for a little bit. You know, I just can't remember the name. Can't remember he's champion either. But Belal, I don't really mind Belal anymore, to be honest. You know, I just really haven't been paying attention or caring to the welterweight division since he came champion, you know. Not really fun fight style. You know, I didn't really like him when he beat Gilbert Burns, when Gilbert broke his arm in the fight. That fucking pissed me off, but you know, it happens. Happens in these fights. Fighters get injured, so can't really hold that against him, but Belal Muhammad, one of the most hated fighters in the UFC. Next person we have Jamal Hill. Now, Jamal Hill's been getting a lot of heat recently, you know. This fight coming up soon, this weekend, UFC 311. This is probably going to come out after that. I don't know when I'll post this, but probably will come after the event. Jamal Hill, a lot of people, you know, talking trash to him about being salty about losing to Alex Pereira and making excuses. You know, Jamal Hill, I don't mind Jamal Hill, to be honest, you know. I'd rather him stir up something and make some headlines, you know, bring some eyes to the fucking sport. But a lot of people would just want him to sit there and be like, yeah, I lost the fight, you know, he was just a better man, you know. I'd rather him talk trash, you know. I'd rather him stir some stuff up and make the fight interesting for the second fight against Pereira if that ever happens, you know. I don't want these fighters to just sit here and be boring and just accept defeat, you know. That's not what I want. You know, I want some drama. I want something going on, you know. A lot of people, him and Mario Batista are probably the most hated fighters right now in the UFC. I don't really understand the hate that much, you know. Jamal Hill, I personally like him, you know. He's a funny dude. He seems like a good dude, you know. He's a fun fight style. He gets a lot of knockouts. But Jamal Hill, one of the most hated fighters in the UFC right now. You know, I see him on Twitter always fighting with fans and stuff and arguing with fans. It's pretty funny, but Jamal Hill, one of the most hated fighters in the UFC right now. Next person we have, Jon Jones. Now, Jon Jones' hate is very justified and welcomed around here on this channel. You know, a lot of the Jon Jones meat riders, it just makes no sense to me. You know, Jon Jones beat his wife. He's a cheater. Cheated on this sport so many times, you know, failed PED tests left and right, you know, hit a pregnant lady, his car, hit and run, you know, there's many things that makes Jon Jones very despicable, you know, but he has a lot of fans as well, you know, a lot of weirdos, you know. I don't understand how you could support this man at all. I don't understand why this man has a job to this day after everything he's done. Just inside the sport and outside the sport, but Jon Jones' hate is very justified around here again. You all know this. We've seen the videos I made on this channel about Jon Jones, so you know how I feel. John Jones, one of the most disgusting human beings on the planet. The next person we have on this list for the most hated UFC fighters is Merab Dvalishvili. Now, I'm kind of coming around to Merab, I'm not going to lie. He has some funny moments on the mic, His skits are pretty cringe on Instagram, though, but sometimes they're funny. Merab, boring fight style, though. Not the most entertaining fighter out there. Doesn't really get a finish ever. He just lays on you and prays, and just uses his cardio to hold you up against the fence and shoot 50 takedowns to fight. But his personality's coming around to me. A little bit of a funny guy. More of a personality than Bilal Muhammad, He's not as cringe as Bilal. But Merab, he's still pretty hated amongst the fans, for the Jose Aldo performance as well. That pissed me off, I'll never forget that. But Merab, I think he's definitely more likable than Mario Batista, though. Mario Batista has no personality. He's a cardboard box, Mario Batista, he's boring, and he has no personality. His fights are boring as hell. At least Merab has somewhat of a personality, he's somewhat likable. But can't wait to see the fight between him and Umar this weekend. I'm rooting for Merab, but I think Umar's going to pull that out. But on to the next person. We have Ian Machado Gary. Now, a lot of people do not like Ian Machado Gary. And I kind of just feel bad for Ian. He's being taken advantage of by that woman. I just feel bad. He doesn't know what's going on. And before you know it, we're going to see something where she's taking all of his money or something along those lines. I just feel bad for him, It's just a terrible situation. He doesn't know what's going on, He doesn't know what's about to happen. But he's also cringe on the mic, talks a lot of trash. A lot of people just don't like him. But some people are coming around to him after the Shavkat performance. He put on a good fight. I thought it was a pretty decent performance from him. I thought Shavkat would just walk right through him. But he put up a good fight, But I honestly don't dislike Ian Gary as much as I see the MMA fans don't like him as much, but I just feel bad for him. Next person we have on this list is Ilia Topuria. Now, I'm putting Ilia Topuria on this list just because he's knocked out 2 fan favorites in a row. A lot of people don't like him because of that. There's a lot of Max Holloway fans, a lot of Volkanovski fans, but I think if he was knocking out anyone else other than fan favorites, people would love this guy. He's a trash talker. His fight style, is one of the most entertaining in the UFC. Crisp boxing, great technique, amazing power in his hands. He can put anyone's lights out in the featherweight division, probably in the fucking 155 division as well. Just straight up starches people. Only person ever to knock out Max Holloway. I'm fans of Max Holloway and Volkanovski as well, but I got to give credit where credit is due. Great fighter. He has some good moments on the mic though. He has a decent personality. He's a great fight style. I think a lot of people will be coming around to Topuria next couple fights because he won't be fighting fan favorites. I'm starting to come around to him a little bit more. I just didn't like how he was knocking out my some of my favorite fighters, but that's the sport. I don't dislike Ilia Topuria personally, but I know a lot of people don't like him because they're Max fans or Volkanovski fans. But I'm excited to see his next fights. I'm excited to see what goes on in the featherweight division. I'm pretty sure it's going to be him versus Volk again next. I'm kind of excited to see Volk coming back from a little bit of a break. Gives his chin a little bit of a break, but I think the result will be the same, and Ilia Topuria is going to knock him out again, unfortunately. But Ilia Topuria, a lot of fans don't like him, but I think he's going to catch on a couple in the next couple fights. The next person we have, last but not least, Dricus Du Plessis. Now, I don't really understand the Dricus hate, It's mostly a bunch of Sean Strickland fans, though, coping about the loss against Dricus. Dricus is a fun fight style, too, and he talks good trash, in my opinion. He's making Izzy cry, made Sean Strickland cry. He's a good trash talker, in my opinion. He has a great fight style. He's a little bit of a goofy fight style. We've seen how he fights, but it's entertaining as hell to see him with these crazy techniques, and then he comes back and wins the fight, And people think he's not a good fighter. They call him. They say he's not a good fighter. They say his technique is terrible. If he wasn't a good fighter, would he be champion right now with the defense? It's kind of a weird situation. I don't understand how people don't think he's a good fighter after all he's proven. He's 22-2. He hasn't lost in the UFC. So I don't understand how people think he's not a good fighter. He talks good trash as well. He's not a boring fighter. He's not boring in his personality. He's not boring in his fight style. I don't see how people don't like Dricus, Me personally. I'm excited to see his next fight against Strickland coming up in February. Hopefully he puts to bed the people calling the first fight a robbery, fucking tweaking out. But people calling the first fight a robbery. Hopefully he shuts them up with this fight. I'm rooting for him in this fight against Strickland. But Dricus du Plessis, a lot of people don't like him. I don't understand why. But that's pretty much going to be the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, share the video. We've reached 100 subscribers. I'm trying to reach 200. Let's see if we can get there. I'm trying to get there before the halfway mark of the year. So let's try to get there. Support the channel. But that's going to be it. Leave a like, subscribe again. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.